The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry. I would like to show you the 12 commandments listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. These commandments are the agreement between our Creator and His nation Israel, and they agreed with our Creator that any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded them to bring Him a sin offering to their priest to be forgiven of their sin. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Now I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 20, verse 26, the word bars to arches. And the words now reveal the style of the roof for His tent for meeting with Him, and the roof style for the house for meeting with Him. So who has been editing the first writer's words to hide this knowledge from you? Let me show you their words from the 1611 preface, which the translators inserted into the front of the English King James Bible in 1611. They gave 4 reasons for themselves to edit the Bible. The one I want to show you is the red arrow at the top, which points to the 3rd reason. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the divine, to a clerk named Gregory. Now the next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome changed our Creator's calendar by setting the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice how the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. And you can also see they have an Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's courtyard. The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and a participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. In their own words, I will say those men were not seeking to help people who are seeking knowledge from the first writers writing in the Hebrew text. I have an old Bible program that I use to help find a better word from the New American Standard's 1977 Concordance, which has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. My revealing of the first writer's words will make the text read like the first writer had wrote them, and their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. Okay, you can see the text right there. So I got to make a note to self. I'm going to add 21 as well. Maybe not. Maybe I'll come back in a little bit and do this one. You'll make them a fire oven. No, might as well. It seems like I'm seeing some words that aren't being said correct. You did meet him with blessings of good things. So YV in your strength. YV has strength. King will be glad. And in your salvation, oh, greatly will he rejoice. In your salvation, however, no, it doesn't need the word how. You have given him his heart's desire, and you have not withheld a request of his lips. Idiot here. For you did meet him with blessings of good things. You did set a crown of fine gold on his head. Our Creator doesn't worry about this. In fact, you have to understand there were judges before kings. Okay, and the judges didn't wear, that I know of. Moses didn't have any such thing. He was just a judge. So when it comes to a crown, you were starting to talk about a king, and Saul just had like a banner that he wore. It wasn't quite a crown. So they didn't call it a crown. And then there was the king from Judah and the king from Israel went and battled for Ramallah, and they just had robes that designated the difference between them, but they both wore a robe like each other, probably just different colors symbolizing where, but that was, they didn't have a crown on their head. So you did meet him. No, this is out. And again, I'm going to pick it on just an 8-point without because if that's a 4 verse as well, that's out. And it would go with this. You have given him his heart's desire, and not withheld the request of his lips. He asked life from you. Well, he asked life of you, and you didst give it to him the length of days forever and ever. His glory is great through your salvation. Splendor and majesty you did place on him. Okay. Now this text is almost referring to Jesus. So what did I mess up here? In your strength, our King will be glad, and in your salvation, will you greatly rejoice. Okay, so this is still out. You have given him his heart's desire, not withhold the request from his lips. You did meet him with the blessings of good things. Okay, if this is going to be about Jesus, some of this needs to be corrected a little better than what they've got it. For you did not make him, for you did make him our most blessed forever. You did make him joyful and gladness in your presence. Our King will trust YV, and through the love kindness. I found that this is the answer. It's kindness. And through the kindness, the Most High, He will not be shaken. Your hand will find out all. Your hand will find. This seems to be like this, connected. Fall out. Find out all your enemies. Your right hand will find out those who hate him. You will make them as a fiery oven in the time of your anger. Why we will swallow them up in his wrath, and with fire he will devour them. Well, this verse here, I can't do that. He will make them a fiery. Only until Jesus' time do we understand that there's going to be a hell. So the thing here is because he's talking about the final judgment at the end of of man living on earth, the final judgment. And then, but you swallow them up in his wrath. Why you will swallow them up in the wrath. So this text is out. But it seems like they do know the format, so I'll just make it down like this, that we have writers that are disturbing text that's there, and they're trying to change the wording so they can add these verses in for their God. Okay? Their offspring you will destroy from earth, and their descendants from among the sons of men. Though they intend evil against you and devise a plot, they will not succeed, for you will make them turn their back. You will aim with your bowstrings at their face. Be you executed? Be you exalted, YV. Be you exalted, YV. In your strength we will sing and praise your power. Okay. This we know is not true. Get rid of that. Their offspring you will destroy from earth, and their descendants from among. I want to divide that. The sons from men. Okay. I need to go through now this text that I think is going to be here and correct the smallest little words. YV, not in your strength, but by your strength. See, this is that little bit right there, all of a sudden starts these little corrections build up the text and helps me to understand what they destroyed of a writer to begin with. The little words are the ones that are really the key to getting a really grip on how to find the text. The format is already there. That's easy to see. So you can see this is a 4-verse writing, okay? until down here I might have to force it, or that's just a 3-verse and it's a different writer. So here, why thee by your strength, our King, and we know this is Jesus, not the King, our King will be glad, because this is Jesus. So I do all first letters to give him respect when you're reading the words, because I want this glad. What's going to happen is when the text is done, every time you want to know if Jesus is glad, you'll be able to search this, okay? And as how do they call that when they in the search? Match case. Okay, when you match the case, you're going to be able to get to every verse about Jesus. Okay, when I'm doing this, I'm being sneaky, but that's what'll happen. Our King will be glad, not in, but by again, and it has to be our Creator's by your salvation for him. Now this, out of all the words salvation I've been able to explain to people, this one is truly different, okay? This one is truly different. This is, he has salvation from our Creator because he is going to heaven. Most of the time, the text is talking about the people entering into heaven. So Jesus is the Savior, and the word salvation comes from the word Savior. Here, let me see if there's a different word here. Oh, I haven't been here in a while, so I gotta, this is 21. Salvation. His deliverance. By your deliverance. I would, because I don't, see, this is the thing. When it comes down to trying to keep all words meaning the same thing at all times, I've got salvation related to Savior. So I have to use the word deliverance here, because this is our Creator, deliverance for Jesus. So let me see, Deliverance, by your deliverance, and by your deliverance, I'm going to get rid of the word he here and will here and put them, so let me copy them and put them in yellow and say here, going to put them here, up here, and then put them in yellow that I just moved them. He will greatly rejoice. Greatly rejoice. I'm trying to think of words that would go on the end of that to complete that. He will greatly rejoice in your choice of deliverance. By your strength, our King will be glad, and by your deliverance, he will greatly rejoice. Okay. Now that's how you get from little changes to getting the text. This would probably be one that other people would not do, deliverance. They don't have the book or the resources I do. You have given him you will give him. You will give him. It hasn't happened yet. Unless this text is written. No, I don't think this text is written after Jesus, then stuck in. So you will give him his heart's desire. We are finding words for Jesus here, so that's very keen here, and not withhold a request. A request. This is from him, so this is Jesus. From, and I got a capital F here to do it right. From his, and it's not lips, excuse me. This has to be from his mouth, or request from his tongue, request from his mouth. Mouth is more correct. So we got 2 pieces so far of the puzzle done, or really cleaned up good. For you did meet him with the blessings of good things. No, you did assign him, didn't meet him. You did, for you did assign him your blessings. I'm afraid when I look here, this is going to be 2 words in the Hebrew text. These 2 words are, these 2 Hebrew words together really are good, goodness, gracious, happiness, pleasant. See how they used what is good? Good things 3 times. Oh, good thing 3 times. Good things twice. I would say what was the word for meat? What was meat here? I see receive when I'm reading it, or I'm saying these things in my head. I'm trying to figure out, he did receive from you the blessings of goodness, of your goodness. Meet, doesn't it? Confronted didn't meet. The only word I would say is receive, but they used it once. So, but I don't know. Where you did you did choose him, and with your blessings, with your blessing of your, what is it over here? What was good things again? Happiness, pleasant, good, goodness. Let's see over here. Oh, let me do some small little cleanups here just to, and this is, well, this is all his, and it can't be the, it has to be your, that has to be your your blessing, not the blessing. Where you did, it's a comma. I don't think I need the word things. You did. Now you crowned him as king, so that would be different here. What I said before. Now that we're talking about Jesus, I can see by the word king, a king would be a crown. Now, this means that it's the writer is after David's time, because I have found text in here that is from the Promised Land, going into the Promised Land, a couple of them. So this can be established as a timeline just by them knowing Jesus. You did set. You gave him a crown, not of fine gold, but of gold on his head. And these might all be capital here, and then, yes, because our Creator said this, but we're talking about Jesus, so I gotta put Jesus in. Maybe I should make it all red, his head. You did set, you gave him. I'm going to combine these and say you gave. Oops. You will give, not you will. I need it later, so it has to be you will. Right? You will give. Okay, you will give him, and I'm going to say that's being our Creator said that of him. You will give him a crown, comma, of gold on his head. This is the opinion of this writer, so it's not, can't be this. So I gotta bring these his head. So, like that. Where you did choose him. You did grant him your blessings of goodness. Yes, you did not grant. And this is going gray and italic, meaning I needed to completely add a better word than their junk to make it true. You did grant him, this would be your blessing of goodness, your blessing of glory, your blessing of, I'll have to think later. I'm going to just underline this word. I mean, it needs more work. He asked life of you, and you did give it to him, the length of days forever and ever. This is not a true statement here. You gave it to him. The length of days forever and ever. There can't be a length of days. He didn't ask. You gave to him. You gave to him his kingdom forever and ever. His glory is great through your salvation. Splendor and majesty you did place upon him. Did give it to him forever and ever. Splendor and majesty you did place upon him. Through your salvation, this has already been discussed by his deliverance. So this is really a double of what's being said. So this, and then this is going to go, it's rough. I know it's rough, but that's splendor and majesty. You not did, will. These are him, but this is actually, we're talking about Jesus here. So you will, splendor and majesty you will place upon him. Okay, I need to clean this up because I think it's important to see what the text is going to really start looking like here, because it even helps me understand when I'm editing what's going on here. Uh-oh. That isn't good. Why did it do that? Oh, man. How do I... No, that's not good neither. Let me hit the escape key. Let me bring this down here. Okay. I got a new monitor, okay? And it's playing heck with this monitor. I've got like a 4K resolution over here on this screen. It has to be my main screen or it won't go 4K. It'll be just 1080p and it's too crowded. I got this thing, so I got many things open over here so I can do things, and this is just, it's just crappy to do this. Okay, so that's, I don't know why it went to GLAD, but I want 8-point font here. I'm trying to get here, that. I want to go from here, I want to go down. And all I did was wanted to go and do all my cleaning up for me real quick. 33 replacements. Wow, that was really putting a hammer on this stuff. But that's what it takes. I'll do it all day long. Okay. Okay. Why by your strength our king will be glad, and by your deliverance he will greatly rejoice. For you will give him his heart's desire, and not withhold a request from his mouth. A request from his mouth. For you did grant him your blessing of goodness, of greatness. That has to be greatness. See what happens? I knew that word wasn't right. You will give him a crown of gold on his head. You will give him, you will give to him, you will give it to him, the crown. Trying to think, should I do it like that or not? Forever and ever, splendor and majesty you will place upon him. Yeah, I needed to only do a couple more fixes in the text there. Hold, with not withhold. And this was not, this was just making sure that it was corrected. Oh, that's why I couldn't do it here. Black. And that was it. Huh, I took it out. So it's not. Like that. Okay. Now that, when you see that, that's a little bit special. By your strength our king will be glad, and by your deliverance he will greatly rejoice. You will give him his heart's desire, and not withhold a request from his mouth. For you did grant him your blessing of greatness. You will give him a crown of glory, of gold on his head. You will give it to him forever and ever. Splendor and majesty you will place upon him. Blessing of greatness. There. I'm liking this text now. Okay. All right. For you did make him our most blessed, our, whoops, what the hell did I do there? I gotta find this quick. Wow. Oh, I hit the Control A. I don't know what Control A does for you, but that's what it did for me. No, it shouldn't have been here. That was already, I wanted this word. Like that. This would be red. Our most blessed forever. For you will make him. This has to be again. For you will make him our most blessed forever. I just divide it that when I take it and group it, I don't have to go check. I just know that spacing gives me where I need to take the next group down and clean it up. You will make him trying to think how you will make him glad to be in your presence. This don't need. You'll make him glad to be. In. I need the word in, so it has to be here. In your presence, because it's a Jesus, got this. this, this, and all these will be red. You will make him glad to be in your presence in heaven. Very cool. Now, from what I'm understanding so far by the writer, is not quite sure. It's not a very established knowledge of other prophets that come along. There is more news about Jesus as over the years as our Creator sends more news that he is coming. But this one sounds like it's been written right after David was told, because they're putting this crown on him. But to say he'll be in your presence, that's part of the promise, sit at your right hand. Being most blessed forever is the promise from David, from your son's seed shall a son be given a kingdom in heaven forever. So this could be written by, this could have been written by David, or had David had it written. Because you will give him his heart's desire. This would come from a feeling of a king knowing, like David, who was very close to our Creator. Which makes these words very special. Because so much is being restated by the promise that sent to him through Nathan. Then he goes and talks to our Creator, or goes into our Creator's tent for meeting with him and as a one-on-one conversation with our Creator. I'm going to call it now. David's of Yah. Who is Yah? That's the Hebrew name they gave to Jesus. But I don't see his name going in this text. And Yah was given to him later. Not much later, but later. So David was ill in his last days. For our king will trust YV, not NYV. Our king will trust. Because David knew he was his king too. Our king. Are blessed by, glad in your presence. Not for our king will trust YV. The word for is not not reading right now. I need to get it cleaned up and read it smoothly, and that'll get to me here. And through the love kindness, trust YV. Not the Most High, our Most High. That would be very much words of David. In fact, I think I could use highest high here. Let me see. That time that they're going to use. Two words, yes. Even though, yes, highest high 30 times. The name of God. High is a name of God. That's baloney. Or not baloney. Baloney's pretty good. High name of, this is the name of the title of our King would be our highest high, our highest, our highest, our, do I have to use the word most? This is puzzling. This is David putting this title on him. So our King will trust. Oh boy, when I do that, you can't see it. Our King will trust YV through his of kindness for him. And I should have made that. Okay. Our King will trust YV through his kindness for him. Now it's for our, no, I think that word is going to be out, but for our, I want to say highest, higher, with an ER here. Our Most High. Okay, I'll leave it that way for now. And he will not be shaken. Let me take a look at the word shaken. Is there a better word? Shaken it is. He will not be shaken. His hand will find out. His hand. His. Don't want to turn it red. His hand will find out. All his enemies. And your hand, that's a poor way of putting it. I don't know if David would say, your hand will find out those who hate him. Well, he would know. Our Creator already knows that answer. So, whoops. That's not reading right. His hand will find out. All his enemies. I don't like that wording. That is not the style of this text that's above. He doesn't repeat anything like this. His hand and then your hand. That, so I'm going to give that an 8 point for now. This, nope. Their offspring you will destroy from the earth, and their descendants from among the sons from man. That would be from mankind. Though they intended evil against you and devise a plot, they will not succeed. This is a different writer. This is different pieces from a different story. Be you exalted, YV, in your strength we will sing and praise your power. This is out, and I'm going to leave it as like that, but that's now going to be like this. Because when I go look at pieces later and make the final decision, whether maybe this text goes with other texts that I can put a bunch of pieces that were in, because what I'm realizing is they've took many pieces and they're trying to use them to convince the people that they're going to use to teach them with. They're going to say, I remember he said that. Where's that at, scribe? And then they're going to point to this verse and this here. You just forgot where it was at, this type of story. But the thing here is to be able to say these things to be said truthfully. That's the key. But the object is that is not there. So the only extra thing here that I can say is from David is these when I bring them down here. Whoops. Ran out of that spacing. So like this. And I'm just going to clean it up like this. And I can get rid of the numbers here. Not much text, so I can go up and look for those numbers if I need them. Because that's a lot of Jesus in that text. Don't really see that much. Oops. It's hard to get the aim here. Oh, it needs to be. Yeah. Guess you can get a screenshot of that while I'm reading. By YV your strength, our King will be glad, and by your deliverance, he will greatly rejoice. You will give him his heart's desire, and not withhold a request from his lip. For you did grant him your blessing of greatness. Greatness. For you will give him a crown of glory. I was going to say the word for needs to be added here, because it was from our Creator. For you will give him a crown of glory on his head. You will give it to him forever and ever. Splendor and majesty you will place upon him. For you will make him our most blessed forever. You will make him glad to be in your presence. For our King will trust Yahweh through his kindness for him. Our Most High will not be shaken. And those don't need to be said. Okay. So I'll go up here and remove that. And this goes down. That takes care of this. Needed to add the word for, I believe. I will read it a couple more times just to make sure. And then greatness up here. Okay. Okay, I gotta blow this up. I'm too far away to be reading that. I'm getting old. I'm 30 inches away from my screen. So, Wivey, by your strength, our King will be glad, and by your deliverance, he will greatly rejoice. You will give him his heart's desire, and not withhold a request from his mouth. For you did grant him your blessings of greatness. So I need this and this. For you did grant him. Did I add that? Is that supposed to be italic? No, it's right there, number 3. Okay. For you did grant him your blessing of greatness. For you will give him a crown of glory on his head. You will give it to him. You will give it to him forever and ever. Splendor and majesty you will place upon him. For you will make him our most blessed forever. You will make him be glad in your presence. You will make him glad to be in your presence. For our King will trust. Our King will trust. For our King will trust Yahweh through his kindness. This needs to be through his kindness for him. Our Most High will not be shaken. That's some beautiful words from David. Yep. Yep, I better go get that. I forgot to. But that can only come from David. That's just too. That is too rich of words. Of how a king would write, and only David would write this. Not withhold a request from his lips. David is the one that requested to ask our Creator a lot of things, and received answers on many. Grant him a crown of gold on his head. That is just his understanding at that time of what a king is on earth, and not understanding what heaven is going to be like. So I understand that writing, and that's why I left it as David's words, not something our Creator told him would be. So that's kind of when I'm leaving the text like this and like this, it steps out to me that it's the writer's understanding of the times at that time, what it was mean to be a great king. That would be forever and ever. And this needs to be all capital letters. This as well needs to be italic. Yeah, buddy. Yep. That's a screenshot, even for me. So that text finally got success on the third one. I think I'm going to have to divide. Nope, send it as it is. Send it as it is. That's what happens when you do live. You don't get winners all the time. But anyways, I got time to do another one. I think. Maybe not. Let me see, what is today? Today is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Thursday. I'm gonna put up what I found in the others, and just now, because this one's going to be added to it. But when I do that, I think I'll make a second slide show. But these are all the ones that I've found so far, and proud to say that Jesus is in a lot of them. It's not that common to read the text and know when Jesus is being mentioned. So, under the slowness that I'm going by explaining words, it's actually helping me by, like I said, changing a little word here and there starts really to develop these formats. So if you're going to get closer quicker when you're trying to do these, you're going to have to do them. And I would suggest not just to say, oh, he done it and he done it real great and that's what it is. I would like you to do them, and as you go through, you're learning about our Creator, because I've got too many years at this. I mean, you can see that I've got maps to help me out. I've got our Creator's hidden formats that I haven't even showed yet. I've got them posted on the website. I mean, that when you put them together, those are like the last 8 days of Jesus in Jerusalem. That's just perfect. Where he picked up the disciples in order in Galilee, and almost to the area that he picked them up, right there to the city. I mean, we can locate a lot of them to within a mile of these places. So